Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today, taking flights in the Airbus A320neo in All Nippon Airlines colours, and today we fly from here in Osaka, Itami to Hokkaido, Hokuto. So, flight time today, about 90 minutes, 1 hour and 30, and again, back in Japan. So, as you know, earlier this week we had the Japan update come out, which completely transformed the landscape here in Japan, and well, it looks great. We've seen it before in the 787, and so today we'll take it again in the A320. We'll do a low cruise like we did last time, and hopefully, if we were to plan, should be quite a nice little flight. So, yeah, let's jump in the cockpit and let's set everything up for our trip today. First things first, we'll turn on the batteries. We'll start up set the air conditioning to automatic. We'll turn on the external power, would be helpful. Set the RS to align. The nav lights come on, strobes automatic, turn on the cruise supply, arm the emergency lights, and that should be that for the overhead panel. Fuel pumps won't turn on just yet because we do need to fill up the aeroplane. So RS take about 7ish minutes to align, that's no bad. Let's jump down to the MCDU and let's start programming our flight for today. So, start the initialization, we are flying from, grab the flight plan, flying from Romeo Juliet Oscar Oscar, RJOO. We are flying to Romeo Juliet Charlie Hotel, RJCH. Plug that in, that is fine. Flight number today is November Hotel 745. And our cost next shall be 6 today. And the cruising altitude is flight level 290. So again, what's again a relatively low cruise, but hopefully learn enough that we get to enjoy a bit of the Japanese scenery to go by. And we'll talk about our routing as well as we go through. So yes, we're at Itami right now, Osaka Itami. There's the fuel truck down that pop display. And while it's here, might as well fuel the airplane up before we load up passengers. So we need 15,256 pounds of fuel. We've already got a fair bit of fuel in this aeroplane, so we'll bring those down, we'll increase that. That will do, perfect. So, set that up. Fuel's on the aeroplane, let's load our passengers, shall we? So once again, we're using TFDI design packs. Departing from Osaka to Hokkaido, Hokuto, sorry, Hakodate, not Hokkaido, Hakodate, Hokuto. Get that confused all day today. We're November Hotel 745, cruising at 29,000 feet. It's a 1 hour and 20 minute time with 30 minutes, 20, we'll say 20, actually it's more like 18, we'll say 20, say 25, 23 minutes. Flying an Airbus A320neo, which, ooh, I've not set up yet, haven't I? Yes, I have. There you go, A320neo. Wow, this gets a bit big. Yeah, this gets bigger and bigger. As pack updates, they do fill in the list with more aeroplanes. Thank you, Kazumo, for the £1. Going to Hakodate since I know so much about Love I've never actually watched Love Live, but my brother has. And so, all the facts I know about these areas, I'm thanking my brother for. But, no, I've never actually watched Love Live myself. I'm not really a massive anime person. I just, regurgitate facts that I know. Oops, not New Zealand ANA. There we go. So, we've got Wi-Fi, we've got IFE, we've got boarding, we've got safety, we've got snacks and drinks, we do get a meal service as well. Yes, we are using image sharpening, as people said they quite liked it sharper, gives you a bit more focus on the sim. So, as when passengers now boarding, the fuel is on the aircraft now, so you can turn on the fuel pumps, turn on the seatbelt signs, that's automatic, that comes on. Select seatbelts on the packs menu. There we go. Right, so RS is lining, another 4 minutes for that. Let's program our flight plan today. So let's go over to the Next page, measure 5, which is not. So, 0 fuel weights, 50.2, and our centre of gravity is 20.6. It's 7.1 on the fuel there. Perfect. Flight plan, let's select our airways now. And plug in our first waypoint, which is Minak. Following Minak, we fly to Yoka. And then it's Kilo Charlie Charlie. Followed by Nakatu. I have to wait for that to pop up. Maybe not. Okay, so Nakatu. Ah, there we go. Take its time. Following Nakatu, we fly to Mike Bravo Echo. MBE. And then it's Finger, but we're out of space now, so we shall do it waypoint by waypoint. So after MBE, we fly to Finger. Followed by thank you, Misha, for the one. CHF. Which one is that? That is. It's not Swiss, is it? Yeah, Swiss franc. Thank you very much for that. Much appreciated. What am I doing? Waypoints, that's what I'm doing, not packs. So, Finger, we fly to Golf Charlie Tango. Sorry, Golf Tango Charlie. You can tell I'm tired, it's the end of the long week for me. Plug that in, wait for the coordinates to pop up, and after that it's Kensi. Take your time, take your time. Don't know why, the FMS just feels slow recently. There we go, 139. After that we go to Kensi. Following Kensi, we fly to Yayoi. Then we head to Uwi. Not Uwu, we fly to Uwi. Give it a few seconds to pop up. Not normally this slow, that's for sure. After Uwi, we fly to Maggie. V140. After Maggie, we fly to Hiba. And then finally, we fly to Yagan. Insert that. RS is lines now, so we can quickly check the routing in plan mode, make sure I'm happy with that. So step by step, with no waypoints out of the ordinary. That looks good to me. I'll direct it on.
Hello,
set the cruising at 29,000. And let's grab the meta information here at Osaka. So right now, it is QNH1015. Few clouds at 3,000. Visibility plus 10. Otherwise, everything's looking rather good at the moment. Perfect. Set speeds to 250 knots.
Please double check that all your items are put away so that the aisle is clear and other passengers can make their way to their seats. If you're in an emergency exit row,
finally, sets the climb rates to 3,500 initially. Not a heavy aircraft today, and so we'll be able to get out of Osaka quite quickly. The sun is slightly rising right now, and so while we wait for passengers to board, which will be a couple of minutes away, inside the cabin. So you've got a few more passengers left to board. So let's use this opportunity to head outside and let's look around the city of Osaka in a bit more detail. So increase the speed of drone cam and let's go have a look. So unlike a lot of Japanese airports, Osaka Itami, in this case, is situated right in the centre of the city, as opposed to being coastal like a lot of other ones. So I believe the other Osaka airports, I cannot remember the name of, like Kansai, is it? Osaka Kansai? Something like that. That one is more coastal. And so, yeah, while the sun rises over the city, just a chance to enjoy some of the landscape. So, while this isn't one of the photoreal sceneries, one of the photogrammetry stuff, with the whole of Japan, you do get brand new 3D buildings that are based on that of the Japanese landscape and infrastructure. And it just, again, it looks fantastic. If you go right down to street level, you can just look around, and it does put you in the place of a small Japanese town, well, large Japanese city. And, yeah, it looks good. It does look really good. The Japanese update's been fantastic. And, well, coming up next is America. So we've got the US coming up, so interesting to see how they cover all of that. But for a first scenery release, I think Japan has been a fantastic release. And I just love the blend of the mountains, the cities down below. It's a stunning little place, this. Flight time. Flight time is 1 hour and 20 minutes. Well, block time's an hour 20. We'll be airborne for about 50-ish minutes at most. Won't be in the air for too long, I don't think. Right, how are the cabin doing? Got a few more passengers left aboard, but mostly there now. Mostly there. While we wait, then back to the MCDU. Let's book our departure. So departing runway 32 left today. On the Mina Charlie for departure. Insert that. Check the flight plan. It's pretty much direct anyway, so... Ah, okay, hang on. Let me remove that Gaijo points. You could have gone Gaijo to Kilo Charlie, but... Yeah, I'd try going via Yoka, makes a bit more sense. And so, 3-2 left. I am unfamiliar with the airport, so let's go get a quick spot of that. Behind us is 3-2 right. Okay, so we're taxiing down to there for departure. Not a massive taxi, we do need to cross one runway. Otherwise, yeah, it should be rather fine. Thank you for the £3, Saurus. Thank you very much. Keep up the good work. Glad you guys are enjoying it. Like I say, I do streams because people enjoy them. If people weren't enjoying them, I'd probably give it a stop. So, as long as you're enjoying it, I shall continue to do more. Let's have a look at that bridge while we're here. That bridge looks mighty interesting, to say the least. I don't know how that's being held up. Sheer Japanese willpower, I'd have to say. It has got one supporting structure. Fair play. I mean, fair enough. I'm sure it's a bit more structure support. Oh wow, thank you Richard for £10. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. You guys are too kind. Too kind. Right. So, I think that's us almost ready to go now. Performance. No Jared today. Jared is... Actually, let's have a look. Quick scan through the passengers. Can we spot Jared? The answer is... I don't think so. No. Doesn't look like it today. Jared is not on board this aircraft. He's still locked in the toilets on board the Korean Airlines in Anchorage right now. So, one day to on a free him. Alright, flaps 1 for takeoff. Flex temp is 72. 1, 2, 3 rotate. That is fine. Transition altitude 8,000. Quick check of IVAL. I should let nobody is on frequency right now. Altitude is no. 1 to 2 decimal 8. So we'll stick it on Unicom. We'll turn on the beacon lights. And let us prepare now for push and starts. So quick check of the FF, how much everything is set, which is fine. Everything else is set fine. We'll turn on the ignition, we'll lock the cockpit door, and let's call the pushback tug over. Narita LAX could do at some points.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a long flight over water for the majority of it, but potentially.
Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 20 minutes. Now that the cabin door is closed, please make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your large devices are now shut down.
So as we push back, the cabin crew will do the safety demonstration for All Nippon Airlines.
Cabin crew, secure doors for departure.
We need to push back facing to the right, so request to the left. Ooh, actually, hang on. Cancel pushback. Sun on the APU. That would probably be helpful. Whoops. Like I say, you can tell it's been an end of a long week for me. It's nice to relax a little bit. Yeah, sorry about that, ground crew. Where's our display gone? Why have we lost the ND? I hope it comes back when the APU starts up. Display brightness is off. Is that? Oh. Huh, okay. It's on self-test mode now, so... That's very strange. There we go. I'll keep an eye on that. Cheers for the heads up. Right, APU should be starting now. Yeah, go for it, Vasil. Okay, so it's a known bug. Fair enough. If it's known, then we need to make a massive thing out of it. Oh, SkyVector. So someone's managed to mod SkyVector into Microsoft Flight Simulator, and so whenever I do VFR flights or just stuff without sim brief, then SkyVector is just a very handy tool for that. So, for example, what's our first waypoint? Minak. So if we go to Minak, it should then jump us to where Osaka is on the map. So I don't know, it's just a neat little feature. At some point I plan to do a video on showing how to set it up. But it's a small little feature, quite a neat one as well, so something to enjoy in the future. Right, cell power off, APU is active, aircraft is set, bleeds are activating, it's also bleeding the A320, so no need to mess with that. And now we can start pushing it back, so beacons on, pushback tug. Cool. Airbus invents fly-by-wire, but it's certainly a system that gets used a lot. Fly-by-wire has been around... It wasn't around for long before the A320. A lot of aircraft were cable linkage back then, but Airbus was actually the biggest company to develop fly-by-wire and basically perfect it, I guess. My favourite aircraft, 737. I do plan to do a tutorial this weekend on how to set up custom camera viewpoints, so don't you worry, the tutorial for that is on the way. Right, parking brake release, engine 1, starts. Push the aircraft back and request turning to the left.
Please direct your attention to the screen for an important safety demonstration. Thank you for flying with us.
Welcome on board. May we have your attention for the following safety instructions. your baggage in the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you.
脱出の妨げとなるため、通路や非常口付近には手荷物を置かないでください。
For a smooth evacuation,
Turn.
nothing should
Engine
block
one is
the aisle or
stable.
exits.
Engine
着陸
2
の際は
starts.
座席とテーブルを元の位置にお戻しください。
Return your seat and table to the original position during takeoff
The
and
voice
landing.
is TFDI designed packs.
ベルト着用サイン点灯中、
Welcome to the
並
Bug
びに
Club.
お座りの間は常に
To
シ
be
ートベ
fair,
ルトをお締
I've
め
been
くだ
quite
さい。
fortunate in
Please
that
keep
I've
your
not had
seatbelt
too many
fastened
bugs with
whenever
Microsoft
you are
Flight Sim.
seated.
For the most part, if I've had any minor,
持ち上げてください。
nothing I
To
can't
unfasten,
work
raise the
around.
flap.
携帯
Let's
電話
stop.
などの電波を発する状態にある機器は
There's
ご
the
使用に
barking
な
dog,
りま
there's
せ
the
ん。
PTU.
Electronic devices emitting radio waves cannot be
No need
used
for
on
anti-ice today. Looks like we should be doing alright in regards to icing. It's relatively clear right now in the sky. Therefore, clouds and freezing air in the sky
化粧室
might
で
be
の
too much
タ
of a
バコは
problem.
航空法で禁止されています。電子タバコもお控えください。
Smoking and the use of e-cigarettes is prohibited in the cabin, including in the aisle and lavatory.
次に非常用設備をご案内します。
We will now explain the emergency equipment.
酸素が必要な状態に
I'm using IVAO, which massively improves ATC in that it uses real people's voices to speak.
マスクを強く
but
引き寄せ、鼻と口に当てて呼吸してください。
Default
Pull
one,
the mask
not
firmly
particularly.
towards you.
Sorry,
Place
that's
it over your
one.
nose and mouth
That's
and breathe
normal.
normally.
ゴム紐を頭にかけ、
So
長さを
there's
調
your
整
arm.
してください。
Put the elastic
flight
band
control
over
check.
your head and adjust it by pulling the ends.
緊急の場合は、乗務員の
elevators,
指
we
示に
have
従い、衝撃に備える
control
姿勢をとって
over.
ください。
In an emergency, brace for
Check.
impact.
安全の処理をご確認いただき、ご自身の
Radar
姿勢を
is
確かめてください。
You can check your brace position on
Cool.
the safety instructions card.
お近くの非常
Brake
口をお確かめ
release.
ください。
Please
Taxi
check your
lights
nearest
on.
emergency exit.
脱出の際
APU
には、経
off.
路と非常口を示す明かりが
Taxis
点
are
灯し
on
ま
right.
す。
Emergency lights will guide you to the exits.
乗務員の指示に従い行動してください。
Remain seated and wait for instructions.
脱出時の撮影
So like I say, flight time today is just shy of 90 minutes. With the sun rising in Japan right now, should be quite a peaceful flight today.
Evacuation or damage the slide.
ハイヒールは脱いでください。スライドを破損する恐れがあります。
Remove high-heeled shoes, as these may damage the slide.
スライドを使用する際は、両腕を前に伸ばし、上体を起こして滑ります。
Put both arms out, sit up straight, and slide down.
援助する場合は、スライドの横に立ち、
I
体
think
を
we've
引き
done
起
this
こし
up
て
as
くだ
well,
さい。
so we're
Help
going to turn
others up to their feet.
立ち上がり、すぐに飛
on
行機から離れて
predictive
ください。
windshield
Move away from the
active,
aircraft immediately.
and we'll
救
set
命衣は座
the
席の下、または横にあります。
A life vest
squat
is
to
under or beside your seat.
袋から取り出し
automatic.、
背当て布を後ろにしてかぶります。
Slip the life vest over your
I
head.
use IVAO
両
for
側の
ATC.
体を前の
IVAO.
留め金にかけ、左右に引いて締めます。
Nope, this is
Fasten the
1080p,
buckles
not
and
4K.
tighten the straps.
非常口または翼の上で前の引き手を強く引いて膨らませてください。
Inflate the life vest at the door or on the wing by pulling the red
So
tabs
in
down
a second, we're now going to be crossing the active 32 left runway.
for air. Blow into the tubes.
座席ポケットの安全のしおりをご覧ください。
Please look at the safety instructions card in your seat pocket.
ご質問がございましたら、客室乗務員にお尋ねください。
If you have any questions, please
We're determined that no one's
contact a
coming to
cabin
approach on the
attendant.
left, which they're not. Quick check to the right as well, make sure no one's coming in or on the active runway itself.
Please note the cabin lights will be dimmed for departure and
No,
landing.
they're not.
You require
And so while we're not
additional
taking off on
lighting,
this
there's a
runway,
light on the
we do
panel
still need to
above
turn on the landing lights, just to announce that we are crossing a live runway, and therefore we are aware of what we're doing. The announcement, that was a safety demonstration, so that was the passenger info that you get at the start of every flight. It's a long message, but certainly a requirement of all aviation law. Alright, so we've now crossed the runway, we can turn off the landing lights. QNH 1015 sets. And there you go, the ECAM Now showing us the takeoff checklist. So auto brake set to max. Cabin we shall check. And finally we will use takeoff config. With that, our takeoff check is now complete. And all that's left is for us to hold short, get takeoff clearance, and announce that we are ready to depart. We're doing that on Unicom, so 12.8, and we'll set out once we get to the runway. Yes, so the one on the bottom screen, so this is the bottom screen is PAX. The one on the top of the screen is Fly Live Studio. Right, we will... Do we need to full length for the runway? No, we'll go to the end. We'll go to the end. I mean, we won't use the entire length of the runway here. The A320, we are flying light right now, so we don't really use much of the runway. But we might as well use it since we've got it. In fact, if we turn off to the right now, that should be ample length for us. Yes, Alt F4 is also automatic pilots. It gets you free money on any website you go to. And not too bad, Rocky. Not too bad at all. So hold short to the runway. We'll do a quick visual check. So no aircraft on approach. There's nobody coming in to land on the other side or on the runway. Let's turn on the landing lights again. Turn on the turn-off lights. Turn on the takeoff lights. And let's get going. Set the brakes again to max. Cabin crew, please be seated for departure. Took its time. Must have picked up some background audio. So cabin is secure. Runway's ours. Let's get going. Throttle up 50%. 1 and 2 are stable. 2 clicks forward, up to flex. V1 rotates. Positive rates, gear up. There we go. Off to Hakodate. It's flex takeoff. In the A320 or any Airbus aircraft, it's flex you want. Throttle back to speed, flaps up, and we're going to start an anti-clockwise turn, so turn to the left, takes us over the majority to the sea, clears the mountains, and towards our first waypoints. Up to 250 knots. And there we go. Rather chill takeoff here in Japan right now. Enjoy a bit of the sunset over the city. So right now following the river around and head out towards the water. So in Japan, a lot of flying does not happen over land, but the flight plans take you over the water away from land. There's some eons old regulations in place, but basically a lot of Japanese houses, especially the more traditional ones, the roofing is basically straw or whatever, and so any ice that can form and build up on the aircraft's like landing gear or flaps, if they break off into a house, it can cause a lot of damage, to say the least. So as a result, a lot of flying does not happen over land here in Japan, but instead takes you over the water or over very rural places. Not every Airbus aircraft. The A300 and A310 both had yokes. The A320 was the first Airbus aircraft to include side sticks. How about that for a scene? Microsoft Flight Simulator is beautiful. No flight sim comes even close to this visually. There's no comparison. So at this point, we will now switch over to Autopilot. So 250 knots below 10,000, 29,000. At a rate of, we've got up to 3,500 feet per minute. At 8,000, we'll switch over to standard altimeter. And then at 10,000, switch off the landing lights. I wouldn't say X-Plane... No, I wouldn't say X-Plane gets this close visually at all. Especially during sunrise and sunset. I don't know why, but the X-Plane dusk just... I'm not a fan of X-Plane's dusk and dawn. I'm not a fan of it. I shall be getting PMDG. Waiting for, well, for them to release it first.
Gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet, so you may turn on larger portable electronic
So stand down to
devices.
set.
This is also a reminder
Past
to
through
keep
10,000,
seatbelt
landing
fastened
lights
throughout the duration
off.
of the flight and do not form a line near the lavatory. This aircraft is equipped with
One of the
onboard
aircraft do
Wi-Fi.
the
If you wish to
turn
connect
at
to the Wi-Fi, you will be
Romeo
required to
101
pay a small
first,
fee.
and then
We do
after
offer
that,
complimentary
we shall
in-flight
switch
TV
off
thanks
the
to our partners.
seatbelt signs.
Connect to the Wi-Fi to find out more information.
Oh, I'm trying to think now. Do they have... No, they don't. Oops, probably should not have set Wi-Fi on, but hey. Some passengers, I guess, lucky passengers. Oh yeah, my previous streams before Microsoft Flight Simulator had no views at all. My channel wasn't big by any means. I had a couple of videos that hit 10,000, 100,000 views, but not many. Microsoft Flight Simulators helps me massively grow this channel, and it's thanks to you guys watching as well. I mean, if you weren't watching, then I'd be nowhere near what I am today. A lot of thanks to you guys who are watching, since, well, you're obviously enjoying it, and I enjoy hosting you guys as well with these flights. As I say, I always treat this as a pilot-passenger dynamic. You guys are the passengers, you are here along for the ride. I'm the one flying, I'm doing all the work, so I do the flying, I talk to you lot. I enjoy it, and I hope you guys enjoy it too as well. Autopilot works just fine. I've not had any issues since the updates. I am using the latest A320neo project add-on, but I don't think it touches too much the autopilot. At some point this weekend, I do plan to give you a tutorial on how to set different viewpoints. There are a couple of tutorials already on how to do it, but obviously doesn't seem like many people have actually caught on, so I'll do a tutorial on it this weekend. Expect a video that shows you how to set up custom wing viewpoints. It does require to edit the flight sim config files, but as long as you follow it step by step, it's not difficult by any means. Right, Right, seatbelt signs off.
The flight crew has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign. You can now
How
get up
many
and move
rushes to
about the cabin.
toilets?
However, we ask that you keep your seatbelt fastened when
Oh, just
facing
one.
unexpected turbulence.
Just one. Amber Garcia. Everybody else, stay seated. Fair enough. There needs to be a time where the moment you switch off the seatbelt sign, passengers rush for the toilets. Massive queue. 3 or 4 people joining the toilets at the same time. It was a massive, massive thing. I mean, with the passenger map, it is the Alpha edition of the TFDI design packs, so you do need to bear in mind that it isn't quite fully complete yet. But, it's good, it's good. How do you get the packs bar across the bottom? So if you go to the packs menu in the toolbar, bring it back, if you right click it, you can toggle HUD, and with that, you can make the HUDs appear, you can make the HUD disappear. So toggle HUD is how you make that appear. Non-default audio files, you can get them off of YouTube, so boarding music and safety briefings you can find on YouTube, and then you can download them into the .wav file. As long as you have WAV, it works absolutely fine. Just realised I can speed the aircraft now, can I? Because we are at above 10,000. We'll go to 0.78 smack. Ah, very nice. Thank you very much, Robbie. Yeah, like I say, I think I've just been very fortunate that I've had no real crashes, no real major game-breaking bugs in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Same can't be said for many people. I've just been, well, lucky. But I live in hope. I'm sure they will fix a lot of the issues over the next coming months. I mean, I remember this sim back in its very early days, back in the alpha and beta. A lot has changed. A lot has absolutely changed. My favourite plane to fly in the sim, probably the 747. It's a pig to fly. I hate it, and I don't know. It's like Stockholm syndrome. You hate it so much, you come to grow and appreciate it. 747. I mean, in the real world, I love that aircraft. It's a stunner. It looks beautiful. I love it. In Microsoft Flight Simulator, it flies. It follows autopilot. But you just have to work on keeping it stable up at cruise, and so it takes a lot out of you, but it's a very rewarding aircraft to fly once you do get it right. I mean, I've done 3 streams with it now. I did Seoul to Tokyo Haneda, London Heathrow to New York JFK, and Seoul to Anchorage. So yeah, I've streamed it 3 times now. On 3 occasions it works just fine. And yeah, it just flew me A to B without any problems. Not using live traffic, we're using IVAL. We're using IVAO for our traffic today. So it's not a multiplayer network, speak to real people, fly in active airspace. Well, once we get a replay mode, I'll almost certainly show you the landing from the outside. But standard flying, no. Stick to the cockpit for those. The ILS does work in 747. When I flew into Anchorage, I did activate it, so by checking out there if it works. Even in my tutorial has to land 747. I did that in Helsinki Vanta. That one also used the ILS to land, or at least to follow the glide slope. And then there was always 1,000 feet, which off the autopilot hand flights into the land. From BHX, that's Birmingham, isn't it? Birmingham? Possibly is the answer. I mean, Microsoft Flight Sim here is for the next 10 years, so I've got 10 years to fly and stream and all that. Add-on planes have I bought? No planes yet. No add-on planes bought yet. So we're just about to reach our cruising altitude now, 29,000, flight level 290. Aircraft will start to level off. And pick up speed. And hopefully the engine will cut back as then afterwards as well. We should also turn off the ground spoilers. Yes, once the Concorde does come out, I shall be getting it. I know that DC Designs have released their Concorde now for P3D and FSX. Probably won't get that one, but absolutely when that comes out from Microsoft Flight Sim, we're going to fly it. Don't you worry, we are going to fly the Concorde. Now heading over, this is Nagoya. Yes, that's Nagoya down below. Kyoto and Osaka now going to behind us on the horizon. It's not a massive island, this Japan, or massive set of islands. To get from the North Island, so let's say Wakkanai, so head down to one of the southerly islands, for example, let's say Okinawa. It's about 3 hours flights. You get the same kind of time crossing Europe. So for Japan, it's not a massive set of islands, but it's quite a long one. Nope, no A380 yet aspects. Perhaps smack pointer 87's a bit fast there. Let's slow the airplane down a bit. There we go. Let's go Mach point 80. Thought something was up. Any FMS tutorial of X-Plane? No, probably not. Oh yeah, managing the Concorde's descents, that will take a bit of practice to say the least. I'm sure once you get there, it will be well worth the efforts.
Premium drinks are available for a small charge. If you wish to make an additional purchase, we only
So you've got Mount Fuji now in the background. Well, we do fly north of Tokyo, don't quite get to see the city itself. Our route takes us over Nagoya, over Nagano, before heading over towards Niigata. We start our descent around Akita Amori area before coming to land at Hokkaido. Ground speed is 478 knots right now. 478. Is the autopilot broken in the A320neo? I hope not, because I'm flying it right now. I wouldn't say cockpit's too dark at the moment. I mean, the sun is rising, so not really any need for excess lights. So one at the top of the screen, that is Fly Live Studio. So that's a tool used by streamers to get your on-screen stats. Fly Live Studio, this is what it actually looks like in terms of display. So your aircraft type, altitude, heading, speed, ground speed, airspeed, and vertical climb. Zulu time, real time, frame rate, and if you're using FSP3, you have your VASI, your memory. then your flight dispatcher information, your flight status, and so this is what it actually looks like. And then to get it on top of the screen, you have to use a, well, you create an overlay, and then you need to run it over something like OBS or XSplit to actually appear. So I don't get that top screen. This is what I can see. So there's no chat menu, chat's done separately over here. I do get packs at the bottom, but no overheads, nothing fancy like that. The overlay is entirely for you guys to enjoy. So I do plan to do a tutorial on the Sky Vector add-on because, well, I found out about it earlier this week and I just think it's fantastic. It won't be a massive video and all, but I don't know, it just seems like a very helpful tool to say the least in terms of getting a proper flight map in the sim. Works very well. It's basically just a mini browser. You probably work that with quite a few websites if you really needed to. So let's say, what's our next waypoint? NAC2. I've not found it. Okay, what's our waypoint following NAC2? Go finger. Whoops. Gear back. The downside to it is that when you're typing in waypoint names, it doesn't distract the keyboard click. So pressing G and finger actually went in the load landing gear there. Whoops. Gotta be very careful. The bottom screen is PAX, TFDI designed PAX. And so that's just the passenger screen at the bottom, that's the HUD. The actual menu looks like this. So got an hour till arrival, sat sides, cruise snacks, serving drinks. Cabin is nice and quiet at the moment, passengers are seated. No rushing for the toilets as it stands. So yeah, PAX is the bottom HUD and the passenger crew experience add-on. Next flights will be tomorrow morning. I'll be doing that probably Berlin to Vienna will be my next flights. Berlin to Vienna. Sounds like your issue there, Liam, is that you're not actually flying on an intercept next waypoint. So you fly to your next waypoint and then go on to autopilot. Basically, in order for LNAV to work properly, or at least for it to connect to wherever you're going to, you need to be on an intercept to your next waypoint. If you're not on an intercept, it won't fly to your next waypoint, it doesn't know how to turn. So that sounds like what you're having there. You're not quite on an intercept heading. PAX, I'd say, is definitely better than self-loading cargo, yes. With PAX, you get a lot more passenger interaction. You're free to fly really any airline, doesn't limit you to say, this is your pilot's name, that's your cabin crew, here's what you're doing. You get a lot more customization, and I just think the whole user process is much nicer. And the developers, TFDI Design, I've been using their products for years now, so I've got a lot of trust in those guys. No worries, Minasha, you take care, have a good one. To recognise the mod, you need FSUI PC. So it's a mod side loader that a lot of mods use. I mean, you've got FSUI PC on FSX, P3D. You now got it for this FSUI PC 7, and there's also an XUI PC for X-Plane. So it's like a mod side loader that a lot of mods do require. Welcome, Jan. How you doing? Welcome to the chats. Oh yeah, the wing looks great right now. Just the whole sunrise. Nice and bright, a nice haze over the city of Tokyo. And this, actually, that will be that's Mount Fuji, and therefore the towns over there is going to be Numazu and Mishima. Tokyo's more more down there. On the other side, we're right now looking at, well, nothing really. Looking at the Gifu region. Ishikawa is going to be right in distance on the coastline. And Drawyah, about there behind the wing. Oh, not too bad, Jan. How about you? Welcome, Elias. How you doing? Welcome to the chats. I mean, I don't know, like I say, I've been quite fortunate with crashes, I haven't had any problems myself with it. Yeah, so showcase camera is one way you can do it. So if you go to showcase, you can then use 12 and 13 in the A320 switch between them. And hotkey is, there's two keys you need to press. End and insert. So insert end takes you to window view, and insert takes you back. And there's another way of doing it, which I'll do a tutorial on, probably tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow morning I'll do a few tutorials. ETA, well, top screen you got it in Zulu time, so ETA 50 minutes. 45-50 minutes. How to calculate these speeds, so that's on the MCDU. Okay, right, go back to takeoff phase. Basically, the MCDU gives you the performance page, and here it calculates your speed for takeoff. Is 1660 good enough for this game? I mean, I'm using a 1660 right now, and, well, what do you think? Does it look good? Does it not look good? I mean, I'm quite happy with this at the moment. I have got the 3080 on order. I've had the recent updates. I am number 648 on the queue of receiving one, so it could be a while. But, yeah, I've got no real complaints. How do you calculate speeds? On the FMS. FMS tells you. There's no calculation you need to do. Yeah, it calculates it automatically. What do you mean by this isn't the new updates? Because this is the updates that came out on Tuesday. And so, all seems to be working fine for me. What do you know about turboprop airlines? I mean, in real life I've flown the ATR 42. And, yeah, I've got no real things for them really. They're alright, they do their job. Will I fly them again? Yes, absolutely. Will I fly it in Flight Sim? I mean, back in X-Plane I used to fly the Q400 fairly regularly, so yeah, I'd fly them. So Tokyo now is going to be just down there where the valley opens up. That's going to be Tokyo. Santorini to Manchester didn't even get there. Shame. Nah, I'm sure you'll be alright. Okay, an i5-94 and an 8 GB of RAM. That's going to limit you heavily. 1660 is fine, but your graphics card, or your graphics card's fine. Your processor's alright, your RAM, you need to upgrade. VNAV doesn't work, and so I am using manual speed and altitude control. Yeah, if I were you, Harry, pick yourself up a controller at some point, because keyboard, you're not going to enjoy it. I haven't had a COVID test yet, so I don't know if I've had it or not. I'm fairly sure I caught it back in March. But for me, it's impossible to tell, really. Dzień dobry. Jak się masz, Max? No worries, Moon. You take care. Have a good one too. Welcome, James. How you doing? Welcome to the chats. You want to complete a flight, but you haven't done the updates. Well, you can probably update it overnight if it takes a little while. And that's what a lot of people have done, just because it takes, well, for me the update took about an hour, but for some it has taken certainly a bit longer than that. Yeah, it's interesting. The sim has gone into, well, it's going through a VR test now. That's what the beta is currently up to at this moment. So, while I don't own a VR headset myself, interesting to see how that comes across. My favourite plane, the 73 or 747. Not that sim, we're on IVAL. Yes, KLM set to retire their 74s as well. Not many of them left now, not many at all. Thought about VR. I mean, I don't know the headset, so it would be kind of difficult. my favourite hobby, well, flying Microsoft Flight Sim, obviously. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be streaming so often. Flight times, well, we arrive in 40 minutes or so, give or take some of the approach. Otherwise, yeah, relatively quiet at the moment. And logging. Logging? I do kind of have a travel channel. If you look at the iron top right corner about there, I have got a, well, I did start off a vlogging channel, and then because of COVID, it all pretty much went downhill, so I don't know, one day we'll continue it, but as it stands, I've got no trips planned whatsoever. When I get into aviation, probably as long as I can remember. I mean, I've been using flight sims now for 15 years now, so my first flight sim was FS 2004, got that in 2005. That puts me into, since at least I was 6 years old, 5-6 years old. Using flight sims for a long time now. In order for Airbus to work, the other planes you need, no. So you can have multiplayer however you want it, and it will make other planes appear. So if you turn it off completely, other planes will appear, no problem. A lot of smudge on the windscreen, had a lot of burst strikes lately, well, at least the front window is relatively clear, I guess. No real marks on that. Got a few down there, I guess. Passenger sides, definitely good a bit of a clean. In fact, if we go to drone cam, I think drone cam shows it off best. There we go. Just all the hundreds and hundreds of scratches that cover the windows of these aircraft. I don't know, I just like it. The small little bits of detail. Very good attention shown to Microsoft Flight Sim. A lot of detail, a lot to enjoy and see. When do I think it comes to Xbox? Late this year or early next year. Around the time the new consoles release, I'd say. As well, having the Xbox Series X out alongside this flight simulator, it's a fantastic marketing tool for Microsoft, so yeah, I'd say around that period. The clouds of Microsoft, and the clouds I think are fantastic. They are by far the best clouds we've had in any flight sim to date. Deserve lots of hard work. Thank you very much, Pal. I'm glad you enjoy the watch. So I always appreciate the nice words. Always appreciate donations as well. So at the start of the stream, quite a fair few donations come in. So again, a massive thank you to all of those people as well who, well, you don't have to donate. It's your hard-earned money you're throwing at me for flying virtual aeroplanes around. But as I say, you guys enjoy it, and you're often way too kind. How come they have time scratches? So, well, I believe these have been a little bit exaggerated, the number of scratches on the windows. But with aircraft, I mean, it's going to be, that was like ice actually, that's like an ice build-up right now. Although there are obviously loads of scratches on there. My guess is comes down to how they clean these windows with heavy industry standard stuff. And so, yeah, it just comes down to different, because you won't use a metal brush on your car to clean the windows, but in a lot of cases they probably will do in aircraft. And once they demolish it to a certain extent, so then go and replace the windshield frame entirely. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've thoroughly enjoyed Microsoft Flight Simulator. I continue to enjoy it to this day. I know who I'm going to be doing later. But then looks good. I actually recently picked it up on Orbex from Gaia Simulations, and therefore expect that to be covered on the channel relatively soon, I guess. Not long to go now. Not long to go to at all. Welcome Zainab, how you doing? Welcome to the chats. I'm not too bad, how about you? No, you're sensitive and caring when it comes to the car. As you should be, as you should be. A lot of people in the chat saying they got problems with Autopilot, and then here I am cruising at 29,000, not a care in the world. I don't know, I mean, I'd say the biggest recommendation, download the A320neo add-on for Microsoft Flight Sim. That does go a way in terms of fixing some of the cockpit issues, but no, it sounds like you've got quite a serious problem there. The alternative I can think of is go to the Content Manager and delete it, and then re-download it. That could also help you in terms of fixing some of these A320 issues. A clean reinstall usually helps in a lot of cases. Yeah, good luck with that, Brighton. Good luck with it. The A320 you get in all editions, and there is no Premium Gatwick, you just get Standard Gatwick in all editions. You get Heathrow in the Premium Deluxe, but Gatwick you get in all of them. Yeah, guys, enjoyed Brighton. How did you enjoy it? Otherwise, so far so good with the flights. Would you like to use a career mode? I mean, I know PAX comes with its own career mode, and therefore if I use any of them, I'll probably be using that. Otherwise, I don't know, we shall see about career. Where are we, asks Zav? Let's have a look. Right now, we're coming towards the end of the main island here in Japan. We are flying over, well, the major city we just passed. That, I believe, is Niigata. That's, what's the waypoints? Yeah, so we've now passed Niigata. And to our right, where that Yayoi waypoint is, that will probably be Yamagata. Did you know that VNav works now? It doesn't. It doesn't. There's a video out on YouTube that I've seen says that it does, but from what I can gather, the FMS, this shows no chance of that. And if I were to leave it on or manage mode, well, you know, that'll go like that, and yeah, that's fine. I don't know, I don't trust it, truth be told. Perhaps it does. It'll hold the speed, that bit it'll do fine. But I don't know. Mentally, I don't trust Microsoft Flight Sim enough yet to give it that freedom, I'd say. Perhaps when I see a full update that works it. There we go, so it doesn't work fully, but it obeys constraints better. Cool, cheers for that, James. Thanks for explaining that in more detail. Favourite routes to fly? I mean, so far streaming, I very much enjoyed the Vienna to La Benranta flight. That was a very good one during the sunsets. What else have I enjoyed? Heathrow to JFK, that's another one I very much enjoyed. Classic route, that. I don't know, I enjoy all the routes I do, to be fair. There's nothing I'd say was a bad route. I mean, the Greek island hopping, that was another one that I very much enjoyed back in early days of Microsoft Flight Sim. In fact, it's my my fourth ever video on that. BA retiring flights, I could do at some point. I know that Chewy, was it, who did one as well? We could do. Yeah, so the Luke Hair tool pretty much just gives you audio samples to play. With PAX, you do get a lot more out of it. I'd say out of all the passenger and crew simulations out there, PAX is by far the best, the most in-depth. Welcome Sky, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chats. Have you tried the 747? Yes, I have. I've streamed it a couple of times on this channel. And And another one is aircraft that I do thoroughly enjoy. Have tested Salty Simulation 7.4? Yes, I have. So when I flew the Seoul to Anchorage flights, that one was done with the Salty 747. That was done on Saturday last weekend. So yes, I have tried Salty 7.4, and yeah, it seems doing alright. It adds a bit more to the aircraft functionality wise. Again, one of those that is well worth looking into. Didn't pop up for you, Richard, there, but thank you very much for becoming a member. Always much appreciated. Thank you very much, man. In fact, let me try and get that pop-up working. Should have done like a fanfare and all that, but for some reason it says no to you. YouTube, log in to the Drawyah account. Drawyah. Scroll down to the toolbar. There you go. Hopefully now it should play. Ooh, hang on. What's going on there? According to this, how can I try and do this without? According to this, there you go. We just got a bunch of new members: Richard, Siggy's, Niggles, Akil, and Bruce just became members now. So I don't know why it's not popping up on screen right now. The alert box I think may be down, but if that is the case, then thank you very much for that. That's much appreciated. Thank you all very much. You're all superstars. Co-pilot's not possible yet. Not yet without shared cockpit mods or built-in functionality. But once it does come, I do plan to do a couple of shared cockpit flights for sure. Quite sure what's going up there. For some reason I didn't have all the member parts like I normally do. I'll look into it, I'll try and fix it. Thank you, Speedbird. Glad you're on the watch. Ah, there you go. James, thank you very much for being a member as well. Much appreciated, thank you very much. He was part of the going the other way and losing altitude right now. Like I say, so many people talking about disasters and everything going wrong, and here I am at cruising altitude, sitting back relaxed, knowing that absolutely nothing's going to go wrong for me. I've not done anything special. I've downloaded the A320neo, but there's nothing in particular that's different compared to everyone else. The whole world's collapsing, and then here I am just sitting there. This is fine. This is fine. Trying Trust me, if I ever sat down and realised my A320 was completely bust, and knew for a fact that it would be bust for an entire month, trust me, this YouTube channel would be over. I could do X-Plane streams for a month, but then there goes my entire viewership. Nah, it's all... Like I say, I'm sure eventually this will all get fixed. There will be an update that works on all of this. It's just a case of hoping that it comes relatively soon. Settings for the most part are the same since the settings video. Settings virtually the same. I mean, I've not had to delete anything for the A320, so I've not had to do any of those kinds of issue fixes. The A320, 7478 all working absolutely fine since day one. The only aircraft I've had any problems with is the 787, and that is the flight plan is not executing, but then the workaround for that is just not executing them. The flight plan will still fly, instead will just have a yellow line instead of a magenta line, which is not accurate, but if it works, if it flies, it works and flies. This is off the Microsoft Store. This is the Microsoft Store edition, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Actually, that's a good point. Could there possibly be... There shouldn't be, because it downloads off the same servers, the Microsoft Flight Sim. The Steam and Microsoft editions, you download the launcher, and the rest of it, all off the Microsoft servers anyway, so it shouldn't have any difference whatsoever. Starting our descent now in about 5-ish minutes. Cheers, Germo. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the tutorials. So our landing today will be rather interesting because, well, we're coming in to land at runway 12 at Hakodate, Hokuto, and with 12, at least the approaches that I've noticed in the FMS aren't quite accurate for what the real airport has on offer, because it's a coastal airport, the runway goes parallel to the beach, and, well, instead of plugging in a star and runway, what we're going to do is hand fly it based on the real world approach for the airport. So, the town of Hakodate, let me check the maps also confirm that I am speaking sense here. Yes, so the town of Hakodate, it sticks out as like a peninsula. You've got Mount Hakodate at the end of the peninsula, and around that you have a beach. What you then do is you follow the beach around the coastline before then cutting inland where about the stadium is, and with that you bring the aircraft in, touchdown and bring it to land. So it's an interesting approach into Hakodate, and so we shall be doing that on approach. So we fly past the airports, basically like do a 180 and then come into land. Watching the Fly A320 reminds you of the good old days before the patch. Fair play. And that's it, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. And I'm glad that the sim hasn't died on me. Looking at the expected arrival in 20 minutes, safe to say we will be late today. I'm not quite sure why we've lost time, but we have lost time somewhere. And so, unfortunately, we are going to be a little late on our arrival today. Show it on the map. I've disabled the map. Have I? Yes, I have. I'll show it to you on Sky Vector. Whoops. I'll show it to you on Sky Vector. I've still got that going. So, zoom in. Spot tackle that. There we go. So, in Japan, you are not allowed to fly over towns and cities unless you have to. And so, what will happen is our approach takes us in alongside the airport, parallel to it. We then follow the coastline around, and then cut in lands just before the runway, and then come into touchdown. So we have to time this latter bit just right in order for this land to be successful. But we fly parallel, follow the coastline around, and then cut in where the stadium is before coming into land. So we'll be sure to give that a go today. Yeah, should prove interesting, this. Kind of like a mini Kaitac approach, where you don't fly in towards the runway, you come in at an angle before coming into land instead. And while Kaitac took it to the extreme, similar kind of ruling applies. Well, in that case, it was mountains that stopped you from landing in Kaitac, landing in mountains in Chinese airspace. With this one, it's airspace restrictions over towns and cities. As Milviz, it's almost on the 732. If that's the case, then yes, I will 100% be buying the... I mean, I'll buy any 737, so I've got the 737-200 from Milviz. There's the PMDG 737-800 that we all know of. And then don't forget that 737-400 by that unconfirmed developer, who used to be part of TFDI design at some points. And so that's the other one coming. We're going to get all generations of 73, and that's always good to see. So SkyVector map, I'll do a tutorial on at some points. It's not too difficult to install, but well worth getting if you're interested in getting SkyVector. Right, so let's descend now to 25-ish thousand. Actually, 25. We're going down to 5,000. Come on, Drawyah. There we go. Now, rate of 2,000 feet per minute descent. And speeds, Mach points, 6.5. Yes, PMDG released their 7.3 in Q3 of 21, so we have got just over a year left until that comes out. So down below us now, that's going to be, I believe, Hirosaki. So that's going to be, so that's, yes, that's Aomori. Which means right now we are flying over Hirosaki. And then Tsugaru will be just to our north. And you can see a town just over there as well. That's going to be Mutsu. So we're landing pretty much just on the foot of the North Island. Not too long to go now. Between Aomori and Hakodate, you've also got the world's longest undersea tunnel. It's a train tunnel that runs the Shinkansen. It crosses across the water just there. Yes, all of my live streams do get posted on the channel. I always give a few hours of warning before they start. So after I land here, I shall set up the rest of my live streams for the rest of the weekend. Not quite sure why the aircraft's done that. Let's go 2,000 feet per minute, please, not 4,000. Thank you very much. I mean, I don't mind fast descents, but it seems a bit excessive, that. Down to 240 knots. Probably started descent... actually, I wouldn't say we're too late descent. We're pretty much spot on right now. If you butter landing, you'll donate $1,000. I'm sure you will, Harry. I'm sure you will. Thank you, Daniel. Glad you joined the watch. No, the 320X does not have different sounds to defaults or uses default sounds. Headcount delivery is not mirrored, so the 747 is the only aircraft that has the mirror texture issue. The 787 and A320 both are absolutely fine. It's just 747 with the mirroring issue. Let's turn on the seatbelt sign. I wouldn't say the VNAV is working. It follows constraints better, as one guy just said. It follows constraints better, but doesn't work as you'd expect it to work. Expected arrival 14 minutes. We're not going to make it in 14 minutes. We're going to be a little late for this one. Shame, but you can't be early every time, I guess. Nope, Jared is not on his flight today. Now through 17,000. We'll increase speed again to 260 knots, since we've now compensated for the roundabout descent earlier. Otherwise, all looking good at the moment. In fact, no, we won't make the descent any shallower. We'll just leave it at its current rates. We haven't programmed the FMC for a specific reason, in that what we can do, so arrival via, it'll be a RNAV, no it won't, it'll be via RDME runway 12, no star, no transition, insert that, so there you go, there's no difference to the actual flight plan, because the approach today we're doing entirely visual. We'll be flying in, get the map up again to show you. So we're going to fly parallel to the runway, make a right hand turn following the coast around, and then cutting in just at the end of the town into the airport. Because in Japan, you're not supposed to fly over towns and cities, and therefore a lot of flight plans and routings do take you around runways and towns. It's like a kaitac basically. So you fly in, follow the coastline, cut in towards land just in front of the runway, and then touch down. And so our focal point will be a sports stadium, which will be when we then cut inland in towards the runway. Quarter 1202. Gosh, okay. Been out for years. This is the A320neo, the fly-by-wire A320neo. So Sky Vector is a mod that someone's created, and tomorrow I'll do a tutorial on how to set it up and use it. It's quite a good mod, I do very much enjoy using it, so well worth doing a video dedicated to how you can use it within a flight sim. Right, it's passing through 13,000 now, soon to 12,000. Let's get the meta information for our landing, shall we? So into Hakodate, it's QNH 1016, clear skies, 19 degrees centigrade, humidity 38%, 8 knot winds coming from the south, visibility plus 10 miles.
We have begun our final descent into
Yes,
your destination.
well worth
Flight attendants
deciding
will
your
be passing
keyboard and
through
trying
the
to use
cabin
Sky
collect
Vector,
any trash one final
as I did
time.
drop my
This
gear when
table
trying
is
to
showed
type
ensure
in
the full
G
upright
from the
position.
waypoint names. Is there a way you can actually turn off
Store any
keyboard? If
carry-on
there
items
is,
either in
then
the
please
seat
do
pocket or
let
under
me
the
know.
seat in front of you. Please complete all Wi-Fi related
If not,
tasks
then I'll figure out
and stow
another way
any
to explain it on
larger
tutorial.
electronics.
Yep, no smoking sign is turned on right now. Well, it's sort of set to automatic rather than on. So now it's off, now it's automatic, now it's on. I leave on auto because it doesn't really change ever. Right, brake sets to medium, spoilers armed. We won't slow flaps just yet. Down to 3,000 feet. We'll do it at a rate of 1,600 feet per minute. Oh yeah, Japan is stunning. The recent updates very much helps with that. Performance page, we also set up our approach, so it's QNH 1016, temperature is 19 degrees centigrade, current winds are 1504 knots. We use config fourth landing, decision heights 745, and we're approaching a 147 approach for a 142 touchdown. Yes, early morning Japan right now. And so when you go to the start of the stream, it was sunrise. Very early sunrise. So what we're going to do now is in a moment start a left-hand turn, and we're going to head for Mount Hokkaido just to our left. Not just yet, but we're almost there. Descent rate, we're up to about 300 feet per minute, so we're nice and low at this point. In a decade or more, the sim will be forgotten. You said that, Tram. FSX, what, 15 years on now? Still not forgotten. And Microsoft and Nintendo have both pledged at least 10 years of updates for the sim, so they'll still be updating it in 2030. And then at that point, they consider, do we continue updating, or do we release Flight Sim 2030? So we've got at least a decade of updates to come. Right down to 2,000, increase descent rate again to about 1,000 feet per minute. Start getting ready to make a left-hand turn now. Start heading towards Mount Hokuto. Start slowing down now. So 200 knots. Flaps 1. The speed can't be. There we go. So at this point the airport's now just to our right. There it is. That's 2. Was it 147 approach? So at this stage, what we're now going to do is get ready to switch off the autopilots and then hand fly it in the rest of the way. Autopilot's off. And let's now start a right-hand turn to follow the coastline around. So we're now supposed to avoid the city. Keep going around it. Keep going around it. Down to 160. That's 3. Gear down. Cabin crew, seats for landing, seats for landing. Cabin crew, seats for landing, seats for landing.
Sync rate.
Sound 4. Gear down, 3 greens, brakes set, spoilers armed. Pre-land checks complete. So using the sports stadium there as a reference point, we can now fly over the land and make a final right-hand turn to bring us onto the runway. Like I say, it's like a mini kiteack this.
Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate. Sync rate.
There we go. A little bit on the low side, but
60,
not bad.
40, 30, 20.
Not yet. And
Retard.
idle. And down. Reverse thrust sets. .80 knots. 6 knots, idle reverse. And there we have it. Welcome to Hakodate, Hokuto.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. The local time is 7:37 a.m. and it's currently about 15 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off.
Taxi
Remember
lights
to use
on,
caution when
landing
opening
lights
the
off.
overhead bins as items may have
APU
shifted during the
starts.
flight. If this is your final destination, we thank you for flying with us. If you're making a connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure a smooth continuation of your journey.
10 feet per minute, I will take that. Landing rate is Fly Live Studio. Yeah, there's not a perfect approach to that, so we were a little bit low on the final there. Perhaps could have done my turn a little bit better as well, but ultimately, for a first time landing at Hakodate, yeah, I can't really complain. Why start the APU? So there's a delay between shutting down the engines and the ground power unit being connected. And so to keep systems running in the aircraft, you'll turn on the APU for about 5 minutes before shutting it down again. Right, so let's go find ourselves a parking spot. There won't be too many of these, given that the airport is full of aircraft right now. Where can we go? There's a space towards the end there, we'll use that. Yep, there's a Pegasus here for some reason. Looking very lost right now, I must admit. You don't get Pegasus out in Japan. So we're going to have a ground marshal here guiding us to the gate, which is always appreciated. Let's follow them in. Halts. Thank you, Elite, for the €5 there. Should go from London, Seoul, and Korea one day. One day we could do. Right, AP's active. AP bleed on. Engines off. Beacon lights off. Taxi lights off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hakodate. Oh, right, let's start that again, shall we? No, packs. We'll do that again. Go away. Welcome. Come on, I've gone on broken packs now, haven't I? Ladies and gentlemen, nope, I have broken packs. I can't do my end of flight announcements. See about sign off, we'll say. Nope, I've broken it. fair enough. No end of flight announcement from the captains today. Seatbelts off, solar powers available, APU off. It's called the ground cruise. Ground services, ground, request the ramp connection, that'll be the stairs. So while that all connects up, while passengers get ready to disembark the aircraft, we'll go through the we'll go through the island and drone cam. We'll have a look around, see what the actual city of Hakodate and surrounding area looks like as well. Don't you worry, we are going to do all that. Yes, it's Hakodate Hokuto. Hakodate Hokuto, not Hokkaido. Hokkaido's nowhere near here. Hakodate Hokuto. Come on, Drawyah, you're better than this. Alright, let's expedite deboarding. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hakodate Hokuto. Local time right now is just past 6 AM and local temperature is 19 degrees centigrade. We hope you enjoyed flying with ANA today, and we hope to see you again with us in the very near future. There we go, got there in the end. I'd also say cabin crew sometimes wasn't cross-check, but at that point they've already done that. Local time right now is just past 6 AM and local temperature is 19 degrees centigrade. Oh, in other airports? No. Not this stream, no. Right, end the flights. Let's go our flight report. So, NH745 A320neo from Osaka to Hakodate Hokuto. Flight time was 1 hour and 18 minutes. Planned departure was 1935, planned 1936, a little bit later than that. Planned arrival 2055, planned arrival 2055. So we're actually 16 seconds in it, so I can't complain about the timing there. 174 people on board, 97 satisfied, 95 feet per minute landing, flight time 132. And somebody owes me £1,000 now in the chat for a smooth landing. Now, recommend you at work, going to be fun leaving the aircraft. Yeah, overall, a more than happy flights. So if I go and grab the flights now, in a couple of minutes, the end of flight reports will appear on this link here. Currently uploading, takes a few moments. Do a quick tour of the area, because I do need to make a quick phone call shortly. So we'll go to drone cam, speed up that. Let's have a look around, shall we? So over there, we have the main town of Hakodate, and you have Mount Hakodate with the viewing platform on top of that. Eventually we will see the Shinkansen high-speed train make its way to the city, but for now it's a relatively lightly connected area. You have got the one airport, you've got one local train station as well, but yeah. Overall, it does look really good. The Japan updates completely changed the landscape here, and it is beautiful. It really is. So I think we'll leave it on a nice image for the end of the stream there. I think we'll now bring it to an end. So thank you all for watching. You guys take care. Tomorrow morning we'll do another flight. So tomorrow, actually I'm not sure if we'll do one tomorrow morning, but I've got a few tutorials and stuff to plan out. So we'll plan it out tonight. By tomorrow morning we'll have a full weekend stream plan ahead. And yeah, from then we shall see how it all goes. But thank you for tuning in. You guys take care. Thank you all for watching. I shall see you again very shortly with another Microsoft Flight Sim Flights. Enjoy your weekends. Have a good one. Goodbye and good night.